What's going on? What's going on, everybody? This is James. Thank you for watching the big and short of it all. I'm going to attempt to quantify the greatest of all time when it comes to basketball. So everybody has their opinions. Everybody has this criteria or the metrics that they measure the greatest of all time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put them all together and assign numbers to these different metrics to try to determine who the greatest of all time is. This isn't necessarily my opinion. This is me just trying to put together all the different things that I've heard other people say are important factors when it comes to ranking the greatest of all time. Let me go ahead and get it out the way. There's a difference between greatest and best. Now, when it comes to greatest, the way I see it is it all-encompassing. A career, your achievements, everything that you've accomplished. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are the best player. If you put somebody one-on-one, Steve Nash versus Chris Paul, obviously Steve Nash has some things that will put him over Chris Paul, but I imagine some people would say that Chris Paul is the better player. So some of the metrics that I have are rings. Obviously rings is the biggest thing right now. For the most part, some people will say, hey, rings shouldn't matter, but I'm sure I've heard, rings is a big thing. So let me break down how I'm going to do rings, because all rings don't matter. One championship ring, 10 points. Simple enough. To distinguish between the Quinn Cooks and LeBron James, this is where other things are going to come into play. So even though your first ring gives you 10 points, unless you win MVP, the value of any rings after that is going to go down. So first ring, 10 points. Second ring, if you don't have an MVP, is 5 points. So as you see, they're going to matter less and less. That's how you determine Robert Horry isn't as great of a player as Michael Jordan. Robert Horry has 7. So after his second ring, all his rings are going to be worth 1 point. Third ring and beyond, if you have no MVPs, that is going to be 1 point per ring. Just to recap, first ring is 10 points. If you have one MVP, your second ring will also be 10 points. If you don't have any MVPs, your second ring will be 5 points. Next, another important metric is MVPs. Obviously, we were just talking about it. Every MVP is going to be worth 8 points. No going down in points. Every time a player is voted to the All-Star team, he's going to get 5 points. Any Defensive Player of the Year award is going to be worth 3 points. I guess I should go ahead and say some of these things you may not have heard about being part of the GOAT debate. Obviously, some people are a little bit too creative. So some people might come down and say, oh, well, this person isn't a great or the greatest because they missed a couple game winners. That, sure, I can quantify, but I mean, I'd have to really dig deep. Later on, we can try to add some more things to this debate, whether you want to add win shares, plus minus, years a player didn't make the playoffs. You know, we can add those in the future. But for now, we are going to try to keep it somewhat simple. Some of these things I did have to add just because if you just leave it to rings and MVPs, obviously it's going to be kind of hard to whittle down who's greater than who. Rookie of the Year, 3 points. Any all NBA selections, whether it be first team, second team, third team, all defense, first or second team, or all rookie, first or second team, they're all going to be worth 1 point. Scoring leaders, they're going to be worth 1 point. Finals MVPs are going to be worth a flat 5 points. No matter how many times you got it, there is nothing else that's going to contribute to it. Then you're going to have little things like steals leader, block leader, assist leader, scoring champion. All those things are going to be worth 1 point each. There's another thing that I've heard, years in the league. Obviously, LeBron has longevity. There are other players who played 20 plus years in the league. This is another way that it's going to kind of scale. If you're in the league 1 to 10 years, that's just going to be 1 point for each year. If you're in the league from 11 to 15 years, that's going to be 2 points each year. If you're in the league 16 to 30 points, that's going to be 3 points each year. And every year after 20 years is going to be 4 points each year. If you got your jersey retired, that should be just about everybody on this list, but that's just going to be 5 points. Now, that's not going to be 5 points for how many times you had your jersey retired. Now, the part that is going to require a little bit of research is where the player ended up on a leaderboard for each stat when they ended their career. So, where was Wilt Chamberlain on the blocks leaderboard or rebound leaderboard when he retired? Pretty sure he's going to probably be number 1. If you're first when you retire, that's going to be 10 points. If you're second when you retire, that's going to put you at 8 points. If you're third when you retire, that's going to put you at 5 points. If you're fourth when you retire, that's going to put you at 3 points. And if you're fifth when you retire, that's going to put you at 1 point. Anything lower than that, just no points at all. Whatever your career high in points is, we're just going to add that to the total points. Luka Doncic, 73 points. Kobe Bryant, 81 points. Wilt Chamberlain, 100 points. Your career averages, how many points did this person average over their career, how many steals, how many blocks, easy to understand. All-Star Weekend awards. This is one of those things that I feel like isn't necessarily things that people say contributes to the GOAT debate, but we've heard them. We've heard some people say it every now and then. Dunk contest winners, 3-point shootout winners, All-Star Game MVP. Each one of those is going to be worth 1 point. Now that LeBron is fighting with Michael Jordan for number one, another thing that we all heard, finals losses. So we're just going to apply that across the board. If I have to go how many years in the league, then of course I'm going to have to add finals losses. So every finals loss is going to be different. So if you have one finals loss, that's going to be -1. 2 to 3 finals losses is going to be 2 points each. So if you lost once, that's going to be -1. If you lost twice, that's going to be -2. If you lost 3 times, that's going to be another -2. If you lost 4 or 5 times, it's going to be -3. If you lose 6 or more, you lose 4 points. 7 times, you lose 4 points. So that's going to be it for now. That's going to be the criteria that we rate for the greatest of all time. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to come out on top. It may surprise you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the future videos where I break down where this person lands, how many points they are, and compare them to other players.